Andrea Pierlo has been sacked as manager of Juventus. Zinedine Zidane has walked from his role at Real Madrid. And Antonio Conte, after a breakdown between him and the board, has left Inter Milan this season. If we thought that the transfer news around players is going to be big this summer, the transfer news around managers might even be bigger. Let's get into it. Yes, guys, big news on the managerial front across Europe. Andrea Pierlo, Zinedine Zidane, Antonio Conte are all out of jobs for one reason or another. And Mauricio Pochettino could be following them. Now, they could all walk into jobs very soon, but as it stands, all three of them are without a job, and only one so far has been replaced officially. Starting with Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, they brought out a statement yesterday saying Real Madrid announces that Zinedine Zidane has decided to bring an end to his current spell as head coach of our club. We must now respect his decision and express our gratitude for his professionalism, dedication, and passion over the years and what he means to Real Madrid. Zidane is one of the Real Madrid's great icons, and his legacy extends beyond what he has achieved as a coach and a player at our club. He is aware that he has a place in the hearts of the Real Madrid fans, and that he will always have a home at Real Madrid. Now, listen, me, for one, I'm a massive proponent of Zidane, massive fan of Zidane. I don't think he gets, as all you will know, I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves. And I mean that wholeheartedly. If you say Zidane's a good manager, I think that's being disrespectful. I think Zidane is a great manager. He's a world-class manager. You don't win 3 Champions Leagues in a row by fluke. Impossible. Impossible to win 3 Champions Leagues in a row by fluke. I don't care what players you've got. You don't win 2 La Ligas by fluke. In what, 3 full seasons? You don't do that by fluke. I think the fact that people still question him as a manager, question him as a tactician, question him as a coach, I think is wrong. Doesn't mean he's perfect. It doesn't mean that he can't, obviously, he can't improve it in certain areas. It doesn't mean that he doesn't have growing to do in that role. But to put other managers and coaches above him who don't even have half the credentials, not even half the credentials that he has, I think is completely disrespectful. And it's founded based on what? Based on what? It's not factual. It can't be factual. Zidane, 2 La Ligas, 2 Spanish Super Cups, Community Shield equivalent, 3 Champions Leagues, 3 UEFA Super Cups, and 2 FIFA Club World Cups. I think the only thing that's missing from his time at Real Madrid is the Copa del Rey itself, which obviously the main domestic, the main domestic cup. But I mean, when you got 3 Champions League, 2 Club World Cups, and 2 La Ligas, I don't think he's going to be losing too much sleep. And he's got a long career ahead of him. The talk is going to be where he could go, and we're going to get into that in a second. And we know that his time at Real Madrid was split over 2 spells, because he joined when he, who did he replace? Did he replace Benitez? I can't remember now. No, he didn't replace Benitez. I can't remember who he replaced now. That's actually a point that, but he replaced somebody mid-season, won them the Champions League in that season. Let me just bring that up 1 second. As a manager, Real Madrid. Oh, it was Rafa Benitez. Okay, I was right. I thought I was, it was Rafa Benitez. He replaced Rafa Benitez. Sorry, I got delivery happening outside my house. Bear with me 1 second. A lot of noise. Hopefully you can't hear that as much, the background noise. Just have to close the window. But yes, as Sammy said, Benitez, who replaced, won the Champions League that year. The next season, 2017, wins the Champions League and La Liga, and 2018 wins the Champions League again as a manager. Now, obviously, we know he's won it as a player for Real Madrid as well. So he got the league and the Champions League double. Then he came back after Lopetegui was sacked mid-season 2019, and then in his next full season, won La Liga again. And this is, of course, without Ronaldo. You know, for me, I think, where's Prime? I don't know. I've not taken inspiration from him anymore. He's a bottle job like Pochettino. Shout out to her in the chat, innit? Make sure you not smash the like button. Yeah, I think Zidane, his credentials are there, and I think what can only improve it, and what may silence some of the doubters, is him going to another league, another club, and being successful there. And the reason why I'm so annoyed about the lack of respect he gets is in the sense that when Guardiola joined Barcelona, it's funny because they both came from obviously they're both ex-players, but they both were managing the B team. So Barcelona B and Castilla, that Real Madrid, that Zidane was managing. And they both got promoted to the role of first team manager. And both of them were instantly successful. Zidane came in half a season, remember, won the Champions League. In Pep's first full season, he won the treble, 2019, and then won 3 more cups in the same calendar year. So he had 6 in the calendar year. So they were instant success at 2 great clubs. Pep was lauded, completely lauded with praise. And Zidane's like, well, you got Ronaldo. You know, they won it already in 2014. Yeah, Barca won it in 2006. And some of the players who won it there were the same players who won it under Pep. Eto'o was there. Xavi was there, for example. So I think it's for Puyol. Puyol would have been there in 2006 as well. Valdez was there in 2006. So yeah, a few of them would have moved on. The likes of Oleguer and Belletti, I think he would have moved on, etc. But there was a core group. There was still a number of players who were there who won it 2 years before Pep joined, compared to the same 2 years before Zidane joined. So there's a lot of similarities there. In his first full season, he wins the league and Champions League. In Pep's next year, which was 2010, he got knocked out of the Champions League to Jose Mourinho, Inter Milan. I think they won the La Liga that year as well, I believe. 2011, he won again the league and Champions League. Real Madrid beat them in the cup. I think that was a Ronaldo header, wasn't it? Or was that Adebayo was playing in that game anyway, Copa del Rey. I remember, I think it went to extra time. I remember that game, 1-0. But Zidane, in his third year, he won the Champions League again. So, but Pep had all the praise, especially across Europe, had all the praise. Whereas the question marks are always there about Zidane, still there about Zidane. Now, there was a lot of doubts about Pep in terms of in England. People were like, can he do it in England? Can he do it in England? And I was like, listen, he done it in the Champions League. That's enough proof for me. He then went, and as Sammy says, Pep had Messi and the best midfield 3 of all time. And I also credit the fact that he was able to get the best out of those players. Like they didn't just become the best by themselves. He got the best out of those players. Brought in players as well, the likes of Busquets, etc. When I say brought in, as in through the ranks, bought players the likes of Henry, David Villa, Zlatan. You know, it wasn't a fairy tale job that he done. You know, he had very, very good players at his disposal. Dani Alves bought Dani Alves from Sevilla. But I'm going to take that away from him. But Zidane gets painted with a brush. Well, look at the players that he's got. The team picks itself. And taken away from the tactical nous that he actually has as a manager. Shane says, I agree Zidane is disrespected. However, he's not better than Diego Simeone, Pep, or Klopp. He's not better than Pep. I agree. Why is he not better than Klopp? And why is he not better than Diego Simeone? Based on what? What is that based on? I'm not understanding. Because whatever Zidane has been asked to do, granted he didn't win La Liga this year, but Klopp struggled to get into the top 4 this year. Pep struggled in his first season at Man City. Didn't get to a Champions League final with Bayern Munich, who had won the trophy before he went there. Got ran out of Spain by Jose Mourinho. So what is it that you're basing that he's not better than those managers? Because, or other than Pep, he's been more successful than both of those managers. Now, granted, Diego Simeone is at Atletico Madrid, and 2 La Liga titles with Atletico Madrid is exceptional. It's brilliant. 2 Champions League finals as well. Very, very close. But what is it about them? It's easy to say, but what is it about them that you think is better? I'm not understanding. Because if any other manager won those 3 Champions Leagues, etc., people will be saying they're the best manager in the world. Because they were saying it about Pep after he won 2. He's got to his first Champions League final in a decade. His first Champions League final in a decade. And he's supposed to be the greatest manager of all time. And I'm not right now, he's not. And he may well end his career as. But the bar is different for one to the other. Let me go through some of these comments. Make sure you slap the like button. Del Pro says Pirlo is a Lampard. We'll get on to Pirlo. You know who should leave too? A dude called Ollie. Footy Talk says Conte is taking a sabbatical from football. Is that official? I haven't actually heard that personally. Erhan says Pochettino coming home after winning it all in France. Winning it all? Absolute bottle job. Shane says, I'm pretty sure Zidane's preference is to be the France manager. Well, he did say that he doesn't want to take a break. So it could be a case of Deschamps leaves or gets sacked at the end of the Euros and Zidane takes over. He'd only have 1 year or about 1.5 years before the World Cup. So not a lot of time to kind of get all his plans in place. But I wouldn't mind seeing him manager of Zidane, of France. Tyler Jones says, fasten your seatbelt, Neeks. Ollie ain't going nowhere. I know he's not going nowhere. And I don't have a problem with it. Ollie signed a 3-year deal when he got the contract. And I want him to see out the 3 years. I'm not saying he should get more than that. But I want him to see out the 3 years. He should have won a trophy by now, 100%. But I can't sit here and say the club is in a worse place now than it was when he took over. It's in a better place. Therefore, there has been progress, whether minimal, whether a major, whether you want to accept it or not. It's factual. Whether there should be more or not, I agree. There probably should be more. I said he definitely should have a trophy by now. 2.5 years. He should have a trophy, 100%. But it's a 3-year contract. I understand the rebuild. I understand what needs to be done. And part of what needs to be done is being done. Clearing out a lot of dead wood that we've garnered and hoarded through 3 separate managers since Fergie. I mean, we've got players here that were here under Fergie. Outside of the hair, Phil Jones is still here. So, 1, get rid of the deadwood, which a lot of it is gone and will be going this summer. 2, improving our recruitment in terms of the types of players that we're getting. For me, if we have a strong summer of 3 or 4 players, then we have a squad that I would say, and I'm talking about 3 top-class players, top-class to world-class players. I would say this squad is now ready, good enough, strong enough to challenge for both League and Champions League. And at that point, you get the manager who can do that. So if Ollie shows next year, which I think he probably will, show that he's not good enough to win the league with that, then you get someone else in. But I want him to stay here this summer, get the players in to build a complete squad. So when the next manager comes in, a better manager, a world-class manager, the squad is there ready. And people might say we were to get in a Zidane. Well, look, he just walked into a squad with Pogba, Sancho, Bruno. It's easy. I don't care. I don't care. I want my squad to be ready to win, regardless of the manager. Chelsea bought a bunch of players, £250 million worth of players, and sat Lampard 6 months in because they said this squad is good enough to win. And they went out and got the manager who they feel is good enough to win with this squad. Our squad's not there. And I'm talking about winning the big trophies. I'm talking about winning the Champions League, the Premier League. We should have won the FA Cup 100%. And Solskjaer showed his deficiencies as a manager and therefore his limitations about how far he can take us. But when it comes to recruitment and what we've done since he's come here, I've been happy with all his major signings, all of them. Forget the transfer fee. I'm talking about the quality of player. I've been happy with all of them. Shane says, Neeks, would you take Pochettino? Well, I wouldn't take anyone. To see the only manager that I would consider, forget Pep and Klopp, because I'll take them in a heartbeat, but they're not coming. So put them to one side. The only manager that I would even consider replacing with Solskjaer is Zidane. And it has to be under the premise that he's going to get minimum 5 players this summer because he's going to need it. He's going to need it. So if the Glazers can come out and confirm, look, we're going to get a better manager and we're going to get 4 or 5 players, world-class players, the likes of Sancho. I don't have to world-class, but say you went to get Sancho, Varane, you kept Pogba, you got a Declan Rice, and they said we're getting Zidane as well, I'll take it. Cool. Because those are the kind of players we need to get regardless of the manager. It's just that I don't trust that we can go and get. I don't know which manager. People talk about Conte. People talk about, obviously we know Allegri. We'll get onto it. What kind of players are they going to want? Conte's going to want to go to a back three and play football that doesn't suit Manchester United probably. Would I take Pochettino? No. If I'm sacking Oli at this point, I want a proven manager, a proven winner. Pochettino's not that. Pochettino is not that. He's a very, very talented coach, and he's proven to improve players. But I need a manager who's proven to win things, and he hasn't done that. And I'm not talking about he won the cup with Monaco after going to penalties. So with PSG after going to penalties with Monaco in the semis. That's not proving anything to me. PSG supposed to walk the cup. He supposed to walk all the cups in their country and the league, and he lost the league. He didn't prove anything. He had a decent Champions League run. Can't fault him for that. He had a decent Champions League run. But I wanted to prove something. I wanted to prove that he can get his team over the line in the big trophies, the big moments. Oli hasn't proved that, and neither has Poch. So why am I going to swap one for the other because we're going to get more pretty football? No, winning is the order of day at Manchester United. 40 Talk says Zidane in the Premier League would complete the league. I mean, in terms of managers, yeah, you got Pep, Klopp, Tuchel, and Zidane. That's crazy. That is crazy. Erhan says the bottle job Poch won more than Oli this season. As Terry will put it, is this the small dick competition? Whose dick is smaller than? Well, they're both bottle jobs. Cool. So why am I going to waste my time swapping one for another? Let's see. Zidane will never get ratings until he manages in the Prem. It's the same with Pep and Klopp. So Erhan says, and I understand that. Sammy says, I think Klopp is a bit better, but he is much better than Simeone. Fair enough. Shane says, Simeone for me is better because Atletico, who were mid-table before he came, and since then has taken Atletico to 2 La Liga titles against Real Madrid and Barcelona whilst being constantly top 3. I mean, they have he's been there for a while, and they have spent money. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, they have they spent money and they've been there for a while, so he's had the time to do that. Fair enough. Shane says Oli might not be good enough. However, it's a process on Oli, and he made mistakes in the final. However, in a process, success doesn't come immediately. Klopp didn't win his first final at Liverpool, and I'm not going to make the mistake of comparing Klopp to Oli. But yes, you can compare processes to processes, and shows that what was true yesterday may not be true tomorrow. things can change, people can get better. I don't think Oli won't win us a league or Champions League. I'm convinced of that. I think he can win us a cup with better players. But if we get the players I said that we should be getting the summer, a cup is the bare minimum. We should be challenging for league and Champions League. Moving on to Andrea Pierlo. So the news obviously came out today, and it was a bold, not a bold move. I think it was a correct decision. I think to give Andrea Pierlo the job in the first place at Juve was very risky. With the type of players they had in terms of at what the stage of their career and the aspirations of those players and therefore the club, to bring in a young fledgling manager into his first role, didn't even complete his badges before they gave him the job. I think it was very risky, and it nearly proved catastrophic as they only got Champions League football on the last day of the season. Credit to them, credit to him, he won 2 trophies, as Erhan would like to highlight. The Super Cups, Community Shields as trophies. So they won the Supercoppa Italiana and they won the Coppa Italia, obviously the 2 domestic trophies. But to be so far off in the league after winning it 9 years in a row, not good enough. Not good enough for Juventus. And the message they put on their website says, "Thank you, Andrea. These are the first words that all of us need to say at the end of this special experience together. A few months ago, Andrea Pierlo, an icon of world football, began his new adventure, his first as a coach. To do this, first of all, it takes courage, as well as an awareness of one's own means, especially in a period marked by thousands of difficulties, with the world forced by the pandemic to reinvent its own rules day after day. Pirlo has just begun the first steps of what will no doubt become a brilliant career as a coach, an adventure of transformation, seeking and often managing to bring his ideas and his experience as a champion on the pitch from the other side of the fence. And since in football what counts are victories, let's remember them. In the space of a few short months, Pirlo's Juve has raised 2 trophies, the Italian Super Cup and the Coppa Italia. And he, as coach, brought home brilliant victories in the most prestigious of fields, from San Siro to the Camp Nou. For all this, for the courage, the dedication, the passion with which he demonstrated every day, our heartfelt thanks go out to Andrea, as well as our good luck for the future. That will surely be a wonderful one. Thanks for everything, Andrea." I think that's a beautiful message. Beautiful message. It wasn't working out. You have to be honest for what their aspirations are at that time. At this time, should I say? I think that's a beautiful message for a legend of the club, who was now their manager. And reading that, I'm thinking that's the kind of message that when Oli finally does leave, and he will leave at some point, he will whether be sacked, whether he walks, he doesn't get a new contract, whatever it might be. That's the kind of message I would want our club to give to someone who is serving the club. He's not just doing a job; he's serving the club. So, yeah, good luck to Andrea Pierlo. To take over Juve in that moment was always going to be very difficult. So, as I said, the courage that it took to even take the job, I commend that. But business has to go on, and Juve need to win. And what should I say? They've highlighted there was that intention to win by re-signing even Massimo Allegri, back from, I guess, a bit of a sabbatical, because he left in 2019, and 2 years later, with no job in between, he's back at Juve. Now, I'm not 100% sure the reason he left, but the time that he was there, 5 La Liga titles, 4 Coppa Italias, 2 Italian Super Cups, and 2 Champions League runners-up, obviously losing to Real Madrid in 2017, Ronaldo, Benzema, and Bale, BBC, and MSN in 2015. So the 2 times he's got to the final, it's been a very, very tough, very, very tough for him in those finals. But, we've done well to get there. Many Juve managers have not got anywhere near to the final. The likes of Conte, the likes of Sarri, and of course, Andrea Pierlo himself. Shane says Pirlo getting sacked isn't surprising. However, I don't know what direction Juve are going in now. Allegri seems to me like a short-term appointment, while in my opinion they need to rebuild. Well, again, it's a lot of it's to do with the profile of player that they have and maybe that they're looking to attract, because they do have some senior players there, players who are in their prime or just over their prime. Are they trying to eat the last few years out of Ronaldo and possibly try and win a Champions League in a time when the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona are rebuilding, but Liverpool and Man City are very strong, and Chelsea as well? I wouldn't say it's a short-term fix. You know, his managerial record says that he kind of spends a fair amount of time, 4 years at AC Milan, and 5 years at Juventus. I think that's a fair amount of time. And to win, you know, one Serie A with Milan as well before going to Juve is a good achievement. So how long are they planning on keeping him? I don't know. What is the plan? I can't tell you that, but I wouldn't assume directly that it's a short-term appointment. Maybe they are looking to rebuild under Allegri, and is to rebuild and have an experienced manager do it, who's willing to go through that rebuild. It might not be such a bad idea, as opposed to putting someone very experienced in that role, having to juggle both a rebuild and the task of winning at the same time. So I think with Allegri back in charge, with Conte leaving Inter Milan, do you make Juve favourites for La Liga next year? I mean, Serie A next year? Possibly. You know, we'll go on to the Conte one in a second, but I think with that experience, and I don't know what their finances are saying, would they have to sell players to buy the likes of what Inter are having to do? I wouldn't put it past Juve to go and win their 10th Serie A title in 11 years next season with Allegri at the helm. Make sure you smash the like button. Big up Dean in the chat. Hope you are well. I'm good as well. Hope you are well. The message that Juve put on their website about Allegri's welcome home. Welcome back home, Max. Massimiliano Allegri is the Juventus manager once more. Allegri finds a bench that he knows very well, a club that he loves and that loves him back. As today a new journey begins together towards new goals. What he achieved in his first adventure at Juventus are engraved in the club's history. 5 Scudetti to the 4 consecutive doubles, coupled with the Coppa Italia and the 2 Super Cups, reaching 2 Champions League finals in just 3 seasons in what were epic feats both in Italy and Europe. We said goodbye 2 seasons ago with the message "History Alone," the message on the back of the shirt given to Massimiliano by President Andrea Agnelli, with an embrace and a shirt on which, in just 2 words, encapsulated Allegri's experience at Juve. The beauty of the story, however, is that it never stops. And in football, that means a concept that we have engraved in our DNA. The best victory is the next one, always. And now we are ready to begin again with Allegri, to build our future together with his enormous professionalism, his moral strength, with the brilliant ideas of a coach capable of shuffling the cards both on and off the pitch, with his smile, a sort of signature, with his way of understanding football and life with simplicity, with his desire to play things down, with the commitment to enjoy every beautiful moment that being at Juventus can give and will give. Let's start again together. Let's start again with Max. Welcome home, coach. Another beautiful message, I must say, from Juve. And the fact that he's been given a 4-year deal, it tells me that, you know, they have plans. They have plans for him to be here for the next couple of years. Yeah, I was just about to go. It says, Shane says, I would feel bad for Milan if Donnarumma goes to Juve for free. And slightly off topic, but do you think Ronaldo will leave this summer? Well, the Donnarumma one, I can't see that happening. He has left Milan, as far as I'm aware, officially confirmed. And if he goes to Juve, I mean, the Milan fans ain't gonna like that at all. But maybe, sorry, 1 second. Maybe that will yeah, sorry. Maybe that'd be a good move for him. There's been a lot of talk about him in the last, like, in a few years, you know, going here, going there for this money, that money. In the end, he just said, well, I'm not going to sign my new contract. I'm leaving on a free, and I'm gonna make my future elsewhere. And I think there was talk. I did read talk about him possibly going to Chelsea. I mean, how many keeper issues do Chelsea need? Bloody hell! They already got 70 million. Sorry, they got 70 million keeper. They got a keeper this year who's been successful. He's been successful, I think. To get another keeper, I guess he's 22. Kepa's 20. Maybe they're gonna sell Kepa. If they're gonna get him, they're gonna have to sell Kepa. Will Ronaldo leave this summer? The question is where? Who buys him? Because if he goes somewhere, he has to stay in Europe. You're not gonna go to China. I don't even know if he's allowed to go to America for legal reasons. But where? Where does he go? Who's gonna pay the wages? Who's gonna pay the transfer fee? I think he stays at Juve, personally. And finally, I say finally, not finally, but in terms of AC Milan signed Lille's keeper, as a backup, as a replacement for Donnarumma. But on another manager leaving, it is Inter manager Antonio Conte. After just 2 years, winning the Serie A, the season just gone. Last year, pushing Juve close, very, very close actually. The lockdown, they fell away after lockdown, failed to get over the line, lost in the Europa League final. We don't talk about Europa League finals. But they bought some more players, and coupled with the likes of Lukaku, Sanchez, Martinez, Barella, etc., etc., etc. Darmian, he came on strong at the back end of last season. They were able to win their first Serie A in 11 years. In 2010, under Jose was the last time they won it. So that's a very good achievement for him. But it's another year, another managerial appointment, or should I say, role for Conte that hasn't lasted longer than 3 years. 3 years is longest, which was at Juve. Everything else is 2 or 1 year. What is up with Conte? What is up with Conte? Does he just rub people up the wrong way? The message on their website was very, very short. FC Internazionale Milano can confirm that an agreement has been reached with Antonio Conte for the termination of his contract by mutual consent. The club would like to thank Antonio for the extraordinary work that he has done, culminating in Inter's 19th top-flight title. Antonio Conte will forever remain a part of our club's history. Now, obviously, if you dig a bit deeper into the story, which of course they're not going to put on their website, the question is why? Why has he left? What's the issue? And the reports are saying that it's economic differences, not economic issues that have caused irreparable differences between the direction he wants to go in and the direction the club have to go in to basically survive after the pandemic. They've been hit very hard financially. A lot of the Italian clubs have, and they are looking like, well, you know what? We bought a lot of players. We bought a lot of players with for Conte. The owners are looking to actually sell, and they actually had to take a loan out recently from a US investment firm to get through this whole pandemic. We know that Agnelli, the Juve president, you're not blocked after things skills. I can see your comment. You're not blocked. But well, at least I didn't block you. I don't know why you would be blocked. Unless you, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. You're not blocked. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just double check something. I don't know. Unless you, I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're not blocked. You're there. You're there. Sorry. We know with the Super League and Agnelli is pushing the Super League very, very heavily because they are losing money across Europe. They're losing a lot of money across Europe. Syria, La Liga, in a lot of debt. And I understand why Inter have to sell, and I understand why Conte wants to build. Conte wants to build, buy new players, compete further in Europe, etc. I mean, his European record is rubbish; it's terrible, but he wants to compete further in Europe. And with the economic constraints that are currently at Inter Milan, he's not going to be able to do it. So they're talking about selling some of their key players. They want to reduce their wage bill. So the likes, the players that won him the title, the likes of Lukaku, Martinez, maybe, they're going to have to be sold. They're going to have to be sold. Now, if you're a manager, you just won the league and you're hearing now your best players have to go, maybe you don't want to stay. Because what are you going to do with that? You're going to end up losing the title back to Juve, as I suggested earlier. I think Juve have a big shout of we regain the title next year. Now, the talk is Simone Inzaghi from Lazio should be joining as the manager of Inter. He's done a very good job. That's the younger brother of Pippo Inzaghi, of course, the former AC Milan striker. He's done a very, very good job with Lazio, getting them in the Champions League. They were pushing towards the league title a few seasons back. I think this year they just dropped out of the Champions League. I think they finished 7th or so. But he's done a good job at Lazio. For him to get the Inter job now, for him it's a step up, even with the economic constraints. It's an opportunity that you don't turn down, from Lazio to Inter. Now, I don't know how successful he's going to be with the money constraints that they're finding, that they're having, because if they're having to sell these players to boost back up their cash reserves, how much of those sales are going to go back into strengthening the squad? That's the big question, isn't it? So Inter may have to be dealing with a top 4 finish as opposed to pushing for back-to-back titles in Italy next season. But congratulations to Simone Inzaghi if he does officially get that job. And finally, talk about Mauricio Pochettino. Now, what we're hearing is that he wants to leave PSG. He's fallen out with Leonardo, the sporting director. Daniel Levy has contacted him. They've spoken. There's a want from Daniel Levy to bring him back. Pochettino has not ruled it out at all, but PSG don't want to let him go, and they're going to demand compensation if he is to leave. He's going to have to buy out his own contract. Levy may do it if he really wants him, but that contract will have to be bought out before he goes. So as far as Poch goes, is he going to be leaving PSG this summer? But even if he does leave PSG, the question, obviously, Spurs fans are getting very excited. We're going to get Poch back. Why would Poch go back to Spurs? Is this a cheap attempt from Levy to try and convince Kane to stay? Oh, if I get Poch back, he can talk to Kane and we can convince him that this is his future lies here. We're going to play exciting football. We're going to win the league. We're going to win some cups. Like, it didn't work before, and the squad was better. I might be better as a player, speaking as Kane, but the squad is worse than it was when you were here. Is Levy promising him a transfer kitty of 150 million? What has changed to the extent that Poch says, yes, my future is at Spurs again? I don't understand it. Why would you go? Sammy makes the point. He goes, I'll take Poch at Madrid now. I think Real Madrid, if he has an option, if he has the option between Spurs and Real Madrid, you have to take the Real Madrid job. It's a must. It's not even a question. Why would you go to Spurs? Go back to Spurs. They're already struggling to find a manager as it is, and you're going to be that fool to go back to a failed marriage because they promised they'll be better. When all the history of Daniel Levy tells you that this is the way he's going to behave, this is the way he's going to act, it ain't going to get no better. For me, yeah, there's no way. There's no way he can go back into Tottenham. That doesn't benefit anyone. That doesn't benefit anyone. I don't think it benefits Spurs, and I don't think it benefits Pochettino. I mean, for him, ideally, I think he should stay at PSG, win Ligue 1, go deep in the Champions League again, the semi-final, if you can, at least. You enhance your reputation at that point. You would have, on your CV, you would have 3 deep Champions League runs. You have a league title, you have a domestic cup, and you have a Community Shield or French Super Cup. You've had that on your CV to say, I have proved I can get my team over the line. Whether you think I should be getting there because my players are so good or whatever, having the best players clearly ain't proved that it's a guarantee that you're going to win the league. When Emery didn't win the league, to be fair, Monaco had a great side that year, to be fair. But when Emery didn't win the league for 1 year and Pochettino didn't win it, Tuchel/Pochettino didn't win it this year. So you still have to go out and do the job. So I think if he was to leave PSG now, I think it would be a bit of a stain on his CV that you went there, failed to close a 1-point gap, and left because you fell out with the sporting director. Like, you're supposed to be building your CV, not tarnishing it. Now, we know he's got skills as a coach, improving players, playing nice football, etc. But at the top level, it's all about winning. It's all about winning. And if you think you're going to go Real Madrid with no credentials on your back, and they're going to accept pretty football and no trophies, you'll be out by Christmas. Toodaloo. Goodbye. Bon voyage. Arrivederci. See you later, loser. Let the doorknob hit you with a good law spit you. Don't come back now and hear no more. Hasta la vista. Kick rocks and get the hell out. They won't waste no time in flying the white flag, waving those white. They're not going to waste no time. And if you go there with no trophies, it's going to be even quicker. Without a shadow of a doubt, there'll be doubters within the Real Madrid fan base if they were to hire Pochettino, who's got no credentials. So I think what's best for him, stay 1 more year, which I think will be his final year at PSG. I think it was an 18-month contract he signed, win the league, and then look at your options. Of course, you don't know. Someone else is going to get the Real Madrid job. If you don't go, they may be there for the next couple of years, and you have to reassess. Alternatively, at that point, you would have trophies to your name. Solskjaer may be out of contract. Managers get sacked. It just happens. Managers get sacked. We don't know what's going to happen in Italy. Maybe you sign a new contract with PSG. We have no idea. But I just think you're in a position now where the league is almost a guarantee. Take it. Take it. I remember I played Football Manager one time. Years ago. I was Football Manager... I think it was 2011, playing with my mates, and I was managing Valencia in obviously in La Liga. So this is what I'm trying to remember. Well, I remember the players that I bought and the players they had were different at the time. But in my team anyway, I had the likes of Edin Dzeko, I had Balotelli. I can't remember all my players now. Those are the main 2 up front anyway, and I was challenging for the league, I couldn't win. Like, Real Madrid and Barca were just too good. I think 1 year I came second. I pushed them like to the last couple of games of the season. But my last 3 games of the season were Real Madrid away, Barcelona at home, and Sevilla away, or something like that. And I think I won 1 and lost 2, or drew 2 and lost 1. So whatever it was, I did not get over the line. I finished second. And I'm like, damn, what a good achievement to get second with Valencia. But I did all I could. I pushed all that way and I still fell short. What next? I stayed one more year, you know, qualified at Champions League group, blah, 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 getting knocked out of Champions League. Then I finished third or fourth the next season, but won the Spanish Cup. And that for me was a great achievement because I was like, I'm not going to win the league anyway, but I want to win a trophy, get some trophies. I think at the time, had I got any trophies on my? No, because before that I was managing Blackburn. So we started off unemployed. I was managing Blackburn, got them out of relegation mire, got them up to about 7th or 8th. I may even, no, I didn't think did I leave mid-season? I think I was just challenging for European positions like Europa or UEFA Cup or Europa League, whatever at the time. And then I moved to Valencia mid-season because I was like, how far can I take this Blackburn team? And then when I was at Valencia, and they were losing money as well. They were like, we ain't got no transfer budget because we know Valencia broke in real life. Valencia broke and they had to sell a lot of players, etc., etc. I was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. And then Roma came in for me, and I looked at their information, and they were rich. I was like, this is weird. Roma's rich. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, I joined the club, took the job at Roma, and they were like, they'd been taken over by a sugar daddy. I was licking my lips. My friend was Juve in the league. And he had won leagues, 2, I think, back-to-back league titles when it was just him against a computer while I was elsewhere. My other friend was managing the Premier League. I went to Roma. I had the money. Went out, I bought Aguero, I bought Ronaldo. I can't remember all the players I bought. Won the league, won the cup. I didn't win the Champions League. We stopped playing after a couple of years when I was there at Syria. But I was like, that opportunity was there to take it. I say all of that to say, he's in the position at PSG that I was with Roma. I got all the money. I got all the players. Trophies are a guarantee. By the end of, I think it was about maybe 5 years of management, I'd won 2 league titles, 3 domestic cups, maybe the Community Shield and that kind of stuff. I can't remember, but it was on your CV. In real life, you do that wherever you do it, no matter how good or how easy it is perceived to be, it's on paper. It's been done. It's facts. You won those trophies. He has to take this opportunity at PSG because it ain't going to come around often. There's only a few leagues that is a guaranteed win. PSG with Ligue 1, and of course, there's nothing's guaranteed in life, but PSG with Ligue 1, Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. In the last 10 years, you would have said Juve in Serie A, and I think it was going to return to that. Anywhere else, you're fighting for that league title. Poch better just take the opportunity now. Don't come back to Spurs. Bad, terrible decision. You're going to be fighting for top 4. Good luck. Harry Kane will be gone. Good luck. Don't go to Real Madrid. That's pressure that you probably don't even need right now. Stay at PSG, win Ligue 1, and then take it from there. But guys, thank you very much for joining me. That's the roundup of all the European news, merry-go-round of all the managers. And we'll see who goes where and when this summer, as we obviously build towards the Euros, Copa America, the Gold Cup, a big summer of international football before the new domestic season starts. And of course, transfer news I'll be doing over the summer, Euro news, watch-alongs, etc. I'll be doing. Thanks everyone who tuned into my watch-along. Record views for a live stream we had. So yeah, we just keep going. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you lot very, very soon.